Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. 5-6 of the way to Christmas. It's what did I buy in October 2025. Getting very exciting now, getting into the month of November. But what did I buy in October? So pretty much the only thing I picked up in October for the long-term holds for Final Trade were a couple more of these dumped off Spider-Man collector boxes from the WotC Amazon dumps. I got a couple more of these. I paid $423 each after all the discounts from an Amazon Business Visa, from slow shipping, and all the rest. The market today is about 443. I expect it to go down further in the near future as WotC has continued to dump. If you have an Amazon business account, which I don't know why you would be in this hobby if you're not running it as a business and are eligible for an Amazon business account, but if you have one, they were dumping at $400 yesterday and the day before. Now, they have increased that price today. I expect it to come back. They have shown they have no confidence in this product in the short term. So, dumping more recently at even lower price means that I expect the market price to fall more. My average price on this, average basis, is around 460 something at this point. So, at some point, it will turn around. Now, Magic has raised the bar in the last, about a year. They've really just been hitting Grand Slam after Grand Slam. And it's to the point now where even Avatar, looking at the early data, which I have not publicly released yet, but looking at the early Avatar collector box sales data, it looks weak, but it is still the number 4 best-selling product ever in the history of Magic at its relative point in its life cycle. That is about 3 weeks pre-release still at this point. And so it's so wild to see something where, you create this price memory by going out to the marketplace and looking at the prices and the sell-through volumes every day and just trying to keep familiar with it. And it ends up feeling weak because the price has fallen several $100s per Avatar collector box. And yet it's the number 4 best performing product ever. So, we've seen a lot of weakness in the Magic market. It appears that we're finally entering bear territory. We have more collector boxes that have fallen off of their all-time highs, and we have fewer collector boxes that are still sideways from their all-time highs or making new all-time highs. And so that ratio of the ones that have fallen just continues to increase. Now, on the Pokemon side, the market is looking similarly weak. With the exception of Destined Rivals, Pokemon is pulling back. Almost every booster box is down from what it was about a month ago, and in some cases pretty dramatically. So Surging Sparks has lost $50 in about the last 4 to 5 weeks. Mega Evolutions has lost about $80 off of its all-time high. And the reality is these markets ran very, very, very hot, very strong for too long. This is what happens. It's the natural cycle of business, of assets, of investing, of everything else. You have a market, it runs hot for too long, and eventually it turns off enough people. The prices get too high. Other things happen depending on the specific type of asset, but eventually the market turns, and that's what we're seeing here, just the natural market cycle out of Magic and Pokemon. We've had almost 2 years of this Magic bull market. And, it bottomed back on Black Friday of 2023. I looked back at my records this morning, and after the bonus bucks discounts of that Black Friday 2023 sale, I was buying DMR collector boxes at $124.50 each. God, I'm so happy I bought those. Those are not quite tripled, but they have more than doubled since then. On the Pokemon side again, this bull market has been running for about 15 months since it really went crazy. Various parts of it, if you go all the way back to Sword and Shield, and specific products within Sword and Shield have been in bull territory for much longer. But at the point where the entire market across all the products just kind of got to a crazy fever pitch, it's been about 15 months. So these markets were definitely stretched out and groaning. For the wider economic picture, the data continue to either be soft or slightly softer. And then you just have the seasonality problem. We are getting into the holiday season. As I said, it's the beginning of November now. And so we're going to have Thanksgiving here in the US. We're going to have Christmas. Everybody's going to be taking vacation time, staying home with their family, traveling to go see family, taking part in other hobbies and spending their money on other things. And so it's just a normal part of the TCG world that we see seasonal pullbacks. We see seasonal weakness at this time of year. It's a natural thing. And for it to have combined with wider kind of economic softness, and with the Pokemon and Magic collector markets being so strung out and groaning along, it just means that we've probably finally settled into bear markets. Hopefully we get long and deep bear markets that really push the prices down. So there's a lot of capitulation, and we here at Final Trade and all of our followers and patrons can buy a whole lot, pack it away for the next bull run. You know, Hasbro can't help but kill the golden goose. It's really unfortunate, but you look out there and you see, first off, them having a vote of no confidence in the Spider-Man collector boxes and choosing to, in an unprecedented move, absolutely dump a Universes Beyond collector box below market prices and continuing to march down the price of their dumps on Amazon. They can't help it. You know, eventually they are going to make those kind of mistakes. Eventually they are going to look out, and in their short-sighted corporate way, they are going to look out at Magic and say, hey, you know, we could slaughter all these pigs who buy our products, and we could really take them to market and make a ton of money off of them. And they will have forgotten the lessons that they so painfully learned in 2021 and 2022, and they'll do it again. And this may be the sign that they're doing it. The Spider-Man dumps may really go down as the beginning of this current Magic bear market. As we get a couple more months into the future and we're able to look back at the data, see how far the bear market is going, how much it spreads into other products, how it's received by other parts of the Magic ecosystem and how they respond to it, it may really turn out that these Spider-Man collector box dumps on Amazon were the canary in the coal mine of this current bear market. But it's just in Hasbro's corporate nature. They cannot help themselves. They cannot just happily sit back and reap the rewards of this golden goose that is Magic that they have. They have to push it too far until they eventually destroy it for a couple years, and then they have to capitulate and come back and create the conditions for another bull run. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but I guess I'd be the worst CEO ever because I would run a business not to do that. So on the Pokemon side, they were always going to overshoot on the reprints, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing reprint waves hit the market. We're seeing the prices fall in light of that because most card stores cannot stand to hold onto product. They must move it, even occasionally by losing money. Now, if we're heading into these bear markets for both of these broad swaths of assets, as it looks like we are, what shall we do? Well, I have always been an advocate of catching the falling knife. You will have your short-term Timmy investors tell you to never catch a falling knife. They will tell you instead that you simply wait until it harmlessly hits the floor, stops going down, and then you safely reach out and pick it up. And of course, the conceit of that is they think that they know the future. They think that on the day when the market bottoms, they will be able to look out instantaneously and see that that is the market bottom. And the reality is you have to get into the future past the bottom, look backwards and say, oh, yeah, it only went up after that, to know where that bottom was. And so the best way to make money is to catch the falling knife. It's to reach out with both hands, catch that knife all the way down. You will buy on the way down, you will buy through the bottom, and you will buy on the way back up. Your averages will be good, and you will profit mightily, as Final Trade has done all through this now ending bull run. In the long run, I expect WotC to completely revert back to all those bad behaviors of 21 and 22, because as things deteriorate for them, if they continue to deteriorate in the coming months, if some of these products turn out to be absolute whiffs, if, say, Ninja Turtles gets rejected by the market, if Star Trek gets rejected by the market, then they will panic. And they will say, what do we have to dump? How do we have to increase print runs on collector boxes? So I fully expect them, as the market potentially continues to turn against WotC, they will panic in the wrong way. They will make everything worse because they will be trying to salvage the revenue, top line revenue numbers for one more quarter, and they will do that by overprinting, over pushing products into the market, over dumping on Amazon, undercutting the market on Amazon, just to try to pull their revenue numbers out. And to hell with the next quarter, it's all about this quarter. So update on the stores, everything is still going on behind the scenes. There's no big updates. I went and bought a whole bunch of lumber and plywood for the partition walls I'm going to need to put up to separate out a storeroom. I did that this past week. And besides that, there's really nothing I could show you right now that's that interesting. I'm not sure there's going to be until we get in there in December. I'll probably set up a time lapse and film it as I start building up the shells of those partition walls in my garage. Maybe I'll do that, but again, it's not that interesting. Patron sealed sale number 46 is coming this Thursday. It's going to be Baldur's Gate collector box. It's one of the rare collector boxes that has still trended sideways from its all-time high for about the last month. So I'm going to put that up there for patrons to have a chance at getting below market prices. If you want to support Final Trade as we move through November and in December we start moving into the store and transitioning the business into that, there are a lot of ways you can support. The easiest one is down below. There are site-wide Amazon affiliate links. Every time you buy something on Amazon, it will help Final Trade. I'll get a small cut of the revenue from that. Or there is a link to buy Final Trade trucker hats I ship within the U.S. You can join the Patreon program and get in on the sealed sales and the monthly discounted sale list. So there's lots of ways you can support and get things for it if you want to. Let me know what you think, guys. Man, it's an exciting time of the year, just headed into the holiday season. It's exciting to be here with Final Trade, almost to our 5-year anniversary of Final Trade. And here we are moving into the store and moving hopefully into a bear market, because man, the bear market is what sets you up for the incredible bull runs that cycle out after it. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.